to you about probiotic foods. Some of you out there might already be taking a probiotic, but you can actually get the goodness that you get from probiotic supplements from certain foods. Probiotic foods are certain fermented foods that are actually live in bacteria, so they sort of taste fizzy and slightly alive. And all of these sort of fermented foods can benefit our guts and our digestive system. I really like the analogy of thinking about our gut bacteria, so in other words, our microbiome, as a garden that exists in our digestive system. And this garden is flourishing with flowers, aka bacteria, that we need to look after. And sometimes because of poor diet, stress, overuse of antibiotics and many other reasons, we can sort of lose balance within that garden. Some of the flowers can be killed, or weeds and horrible sort of plants can overgrow, i.e. bad bacteria can overgrow. So we want to make sure that we're getting in foods that can give us that healthy, good bacteria. And that's what probiotic foods give us. They are live, friendly, good bacteria that we can consume that help our gardens and our digestive system, our microbiome, really flourish. And the reason we want a healthy microbiome, healthy gut bacteria, is because that, in essence, is what gives us a healthy digestive system. A healthy digestive system is important for our immune system, is important for creating serotonin, our happy hormone, for digesting and absorbing foods properly, and for many other systems in the body. So now I want to talk to you about my top favorite probiotic foods and why we should be consuming them routinely in our diets. So first of all, I want to talk about kombucha. Kombucha is a fizzy fermented drink, and it's normally taken from fermented green tea or black tea, and it's live with hundreds of different strains of bacteria. This is one of my favorites because not only is it organic, but I love the flavor of lemon and ginger in a kombucha, and it's naturally quite low in sugar and also vegan, so fantastic for all of you out there. And really, we should be trying to consume this instead of those fizzy soda drinks that we can be reaching throughout the day, as this will actively give you good bacteria in your guts, and it tastes really delicious. So next, I want to talk about kefir. Kefir is a fermented dairy product, or if you're going for non-dairy, you can get cultured and fermented coconut kefir, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. But dairy kefir is fantastic for the gut. It's high in fat, so it naturally keeps you fuller for longer, and it gives you this sort of creamy, breakfasty sort of filling feeling when you drink it. I always recommend it's a great thing to have first thing in the morning to keep you fueled, and it's really easy to digest. Coconut kefir, on the other hand, is taken from fermented coconut milk, and I really love Rhythm's coconut kefir. It's completely low in sugars, they do wonderful different variations, and one of my favourites are their life shots, which actually have over 200 billion beneficial bacteria in each shot. And I take one of these each morning to improve my gut microbiome, or just actually keep it sustained and healthy. Next up is tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented soya bean product. And essentially what happens is they condense soya beans together, and it forms this almost peanutty looking block. And you can do wonderful things with tempeh. It's a great source of protein, and a lot of people actually use it instead of tofu. So vegans and vegetarians, it's totally friendly. And the reason it's good for your gut is it's fermented. So again, it's live with bacteria that's going to sort of feed your gut. I like to marinate it in sesame oil, tamari, a little bit of garlic and chili, and pan fry it as a really good protein source that's good for my gut. So I want to talk to you about sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is quite popular in Eastern Europe, and essentially what it is lots of different vegetables that have been fermented and almost sort of pickled. So in here we've got cabbage, onion, carrots, mixed with lots of different spices. So this one is from Hurly Burly, which is one of my favourite sauerkraut brands, and it's made with garlic, fenugreek and turmeric, and it's quite fizzy, slightly acidic, and I really like to chuck it on very top of stews, in salads. You shouldn't cook it, because if you cook it, you actually kill the bacteria within the product, so make sure to always eat sauerkraut raw. If you're from Eastern Asia, you might have heard of kimchi, or you may eat it in Eastern Asian or Asian restaurants. And kimchi is essentially the Asian version of sauerkraut. It's made with Chinese cabbage and white cabbage, and again is fermented. And it's almost, again, it's slightly like sauerkraut, but it's got more of a subtle flavour, and sometimes they actually add chili into it, which can give you a real kick to your meal. And again, full of live, nutritious bacteria. So you guys might have eaten miso soup before in sushi restaurants or heard of miso soup, but actually you can use miso in your day-to-day cooking rather than just in miso soup. It's a fantastic source of friendly, good bacteria for your gut, and I like to use it as the base of stocks, stews, soups and sauces, and it's naturally quite salty. You have to make sure that you're getting the unpasteurized kind, which means that the bacteria is still really, really live in the product. Finally, I want to talk about sourdough bread. A lot of you might already be eating sourdough bread with smashed avocado, nut butters, however you love it. It's a very easy swap to make from any other sort of breads that you're eating, and that way you're getting a little bit of goodness for your gut from your daily toast or breakfast. Sourdough bread is actually made with lactobacillus cultures, which give off a product called lactic acid, which is fantastic for the body. So try and incorporate sourdough every so often into your diet instead of normal wheat or rye breads